Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Neil Howard, here on Health Professional Radio. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. We're going to be speaking with Dr. Maria Montero. Joining us here is Associate Director of Clinical Training for Orbis's Flying Eye Hospital. She's joining us this evening to discuss the one-of-a-kind, fully accredited ophthalmic teaching hospital and Orbis's long-time standing partnership with Alcon. Thank you so much for joining us here on Health Professional Radio, Doctor.
Hi, Neil. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us a bit about yourself above and beyond your position there at Orbis's Flying Eye Hospital.
Well, I'm an ophthalmologist. I'm an anterior segment specialist, which means that my specialty is cataract surgery. And I'm from Mexico. I live 2 hours drive from Mexico City. This is where I live most of the time, except for I'm flying all over the world with Orbis Flying Eye Hospital. I joined in 2017, and I've been with them since then, taking part of all the training and making sure that everything goes smoothly when we travel all over the world.
Now, just to be clear, we are talking about an actual flying eye hospital, correct?
That's right. It's an incredible thing to see, really. When I first joined, it always amazes me to see that it is actually an airplane that flies, but it's also a fully accredited hospital. So you almost forget that you're inside an airplane when you are in the OR. You just have to look over the windows and then you realize, oh, it is a plane.
Now, you say that you're normally living where you live outside Mexico City unless you're flying all around the world. Does the hospital fly continuously and you're just on a schedule when it lands and takes off for another destination? Is it basically always on the go, or are there big lulls between flights?
Well, the Flying Eye Hospital team, we are about 15 to 20 people that we are staff. We are permanent staff with a plane, and we are from different countries all over. So when we go and fly back home to our families, we stay with them for about 1 to 2 months, and then we go on program. Every year we have about 4 to 5 programs. We used to, before the pandemic, to have 4 or 5 programs per year. This is the first year that we are really taking our programs. So for this year, we're having 3 in-person programs, and we're having several other virtual programs. And when we fly to different countries to train not only ophthalmologists, but also nurses and biomeds in everything about ophthalmology, we go and stay with them for about 1 to 3 weeks of training. And we stay there, we train them, and then we fly back to be with our families, like I said, for about a month. And then we move on and go to another country and teach more people.
I'm sure there are lots of challenges to be overcome and extremely busy. Do you serve all institutions? Are there certain partnerships that you have for training?
Of course, we love our partners all over. Their most recent partnership was with Alcon in Dallas, in Fort Worth, where we trained doctors that came from the Caribbean islands. So we brought doctors, nurses, and biomed engineers from Trinidad and Tobago, from Jamaica, and we brought them to Dallas to train them with simulation. So what that means is that instead of training them on an actual person, we train them on artificial eyes and virtual reality. And that is, of course, to start them on the training, and so that everything is safer and they practice until they are for sure and certain about their skills, so they can transfer them onto an actual human being.
Now, are we talking any specific types of procedures, training to actually be on the flying hospital or to be staffed anywhere? Your training just happens to be on Orbis's Flying Eye Hospital.
Exactly. One of our main purposes is for our trainings to be sustainable. So we are trying to teach people how to fish. We are not trying to give them the fish. We teach them how to do the surgeries themselves so that they can keep doing the surgeries whenever they are living at. So we train them in the most important causes of blindness all around the world, which are cataract, glaucoma, diabetes, strabismus, and pediatric diseases. And this way they can go on to their hospitals, their local hospitals, and transfer those skills to other students as well, so that we all together can help fight against avoidable blindness all over the world.
What type of reaction do you get from the students that see the plane for the first time and board it for the first time?
Well, it's a great reaction. It's a great experience. Like I said, it's amazing to see all the things that have to go behind the curtains for a hospital to also be a plane, or a plane to also be a hospital. And to see that everything works, everything that they could find in a hospital, we have it there too. We have everything top of the line, the latest machines, most of them donated precisely by Alcon. Most of our equipment is from Alcon and our consumables. So they support us and give us everything that you would find in a regular hospital. And we can conduct any type of surgeries that you can think of inside our OR. And we have the capabilities of doing around 5 to 10 surgeries per day, because like I said, we are teaching the whole process. So whenever a patient is on board our airplane, they go from the pre-operative nurse is teaching another nurse, and then the anesthesiologist is teaching another anesthesiologist. And then for the surgery itself, the ophthalmologist is teaching another person. And then in recovery, again, the nurses are teaching other local nurses. So all of the process is a teaching process from the beginning to the end. And all of our students are very happy to join us and to be given this opportunity for them to practice and take all these skills back home.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to add for our listeners?
Yes, I would really like to thank our partners at Alcon for hosting us recently in Dallas-Fort Worth, where they not only gave us all the facilities to conduct our training aboard the Fine Eye Hospital, but we were also able to train on their top-of-the-art latest machines at the Alcon Center in Dallas-Fort Worth, where we also trained doctors and nurses and biomedics from the Caribbean.
Where can our listeners get some more information about Orbis Flying Hospital, and where can potential trainees get information about qualifying?
Of course, they can go to our webpage, which is www.orbis.org. And they can search if you are a resident, if you're an ophthalmologist, if you're a nurse or an anesthesiologist and want to join us. There's a link right there that says, do you want to join our team? And if you can also find information on our platform that is for research and also for clinical. You can upload your cases there. If you're a doctor, if you're an ophthalmologist, you can upload your cases and you can get feedback on those cases. And you can see also, you can watch a lot of videos that we have uploaded there. We have virtual courses. We have web lab information. We have everything. And that's on our platform that's called CyberSight. So again, that's www.cybersight.org. And you can find everything that's about ophthalmology there.
Dr. Montero, I appreciate you joining us here on Health Professional Radio this evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Dr. Maria Montero. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, download at SoundCloud, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.